This is Optimal Finance Daily, Episode 21, Case Study, How One of My Students Negotiated $20,000 and Quintupled His Shares Using a Dream Job Technique, by Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com.
Get ready to maximize your potential with Optimal Finance Daily, the podcast that brings you the best content in personal finance 5 days a week. Your optimal life awaits. Now here's your host, Dan Warren.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Optimal Finance Daily, where you hear from some of the best personal finance bloggers on the planet. And the best news is, you don't have to do anything except subscribe to this podcast because I read those blog posts to you right here. If you have any ideas for topic requests, or if you'd like to hear from perhaps a specific author whose work you enjoy, just let us know by visiting oldpodcast.com and sharing your suggestions with us. Now, today's post comes to you from Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. It's titled, How One of My Students Negotiated $20,000 and Quintupled His Shares Using a Dream Job Technique. And what great timing on today's post, actually, because Ramit is going to be holding a free webinar tonight on getting your dream job, and that is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. He's going to be sharing why most career advice you've been given is flat out wrong, and how a few strategic changes can help you find your dream job. Again, it's tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and if you want an invite, head on over to oldpodcast.com/career, and you can join Justin from Optimal Living Daily to learn more and see Ramit live on that webinar. But for now, let's get this show on the road and start optimizing your life. Case Study, How One of My Students Negotiated $20,000 and Quintupled His Shares Using a Dream Job Technique, by Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. Imagine the top companies in your industry are calling you. Good for your confidence, but you keep coming out of interviews empty-handed. What do? You prepare better than you've ever prepared before. That's what Jesse did. He's a 33-year-old software engineer, married with 2 children. He was earning $95K a year, and after one of his personal projects went viral, even receiving coverage from the Wall Street Journal, all the top companies in tech started reaching out to him, but he couldn't get a job. Here's the story of how Jesse recognized the number one thing holding him back and turned it around to land his dream job. I did get a lot of interest, but I couldn't seal the deal. Jesse was doing a lot of things right. His LinkedIn profile made it very clear to recruiters what he did, and he had even developed a personal website for branding. When a coding project went viral, companies like Microsoft, Google, and Facebook contacted him. It was very vindicating that even bigger tech companies were interested, he said. I really wanted to get out of my current job. But Jesse had a problem. Interviews just weren't leading to job offers. I got a lot of interest, but I couldn't seal the deal. I realized I was obviously doing something wrong. I came across as nervous. I didn't have good competence triggers. So Jesse started looking for ways to improve. I spent a lot of time reading about jobs and interviewing, the kind of stuff you see on self-improvement blogs, but it wasn't getting it done. Then fate stepped in. I Will Teach You to Be Rich was a Google Reader subscription suggestion based on some of my other subscriptions, said Jesse. I followed that to the blog where I read all the free stuff and attended all the lead-up things to Dream Job. My hesitation was you didn't really know what the flow of the course would be, and the other side was convincing my wife it was worth that much money. But I convinced her, Jesse laughed. She could tell that I was really jazzed about it. I kept telling her this stuff is really good. I needed to get better at interviewing, and I needed to get better at the career in general. I hope you won't get mad, but I shared with my wife that interview you did with Julie, and it changed her mind completely. It showed her there was a lot of meat. This wasn't optimize your LinkedIn profile. It was put in the work and you are going to get a lot out of it. Normally, I would have said, give me $5K more and we are good. I got $20K. The dream job lesson that made the difference for Jesse was the question behind the question principle. Whenever they'd ask a question, I'd think about it in terms of what's the question behind the question. I kind of knew that before, but I didn't really know how important it was and I wasn't doing it. Why does this matter so much? Well, when they ask you a question about your job, they're basically asking, can you do the job? If you aren't answering that, then they might think you can't do it. Now I know I can do an interview without being nervous. I can actually prepare and be ready for it. That was really a turning point for me in my career. Jesse spent over 30 hours preparing for his next big interview. A lot of that was practicing with his wife. She'd ask me questions. The first time I answered them, I wasn't that good, but the second time I was way better. I've thought a lot about it over the last few weeks, said Jesse. I haven't changed professionally that much. What I've changed is my ability to better communicate what I do. How much is that worth? Jesse aced his interview, and when it came time to talk numbers, he had prepared for that too. He countered their offer of $90,000 and 1,000 shares. I can negotiate on cars and stuff, but on salaries, everyone told me $5,000 was the max. I showed them the pay range from my research and said, I'm not an average performer. I should be on the high end of this range, not the low end. The company upped their offer to $110,000 and 5,000 shares of the company. I really wanted those shares. I consider them a heavy buyout target, and I want to be on that boat when it sails. You can bet Jesse is feeling confident now. I was really proud of myself, and my wife was really proud of me too. Now I know how to keep my hand on the pulse for the next dream job. Jesse isn't done yet. He's looking towards the future. I plan in 2 or 3 years to poke my head up. I have 3 different routes I'm thinking about: working for myself, a straight vertical climb to a director role, or becoming an author. And he's using the strategies in Find Your Dream Job to lay the groundwork now for his next move. This might be my first dream job, but when it comes time for the next round, I'll review the videos, or better yet, there will be a bidding war, and they'll just say, okay, show up at this time. I'm going to give you a free video course on mastering interviews. Jesse realized something really important. The problem with interviews was him. So he studied the right material and was super prepared for the next one. The result? $20,000 and 4,000 shares more than the initial offer. Sign up for my newsletter and I'll give you instant access to one of the how-to interview videos Jesse used to up his game. In the video, you'll see me work one-on-one with another dream job student who also improved her interviewing skills to land not 1, but 2 dream jobs. You just listened to the post titled Case Study: How One of My Students Negotiated $20,000 and Quintupled His Shares Using a Dream Job Technique by Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, the exact dream job information that Ramit refers to in this post is going to be addressed tonight. That's Monday, March 28th. It's a live webinar that Ramit is holding at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, he has a bunch of different tips on this and is including a system for discovering what your dream job is, the specific emails to send, and even how to handle a history of job hopping or even a lack of experience. So, if you're interested in seeing Ramit live, you can join Justin from Optimal Living Daily in the audience for free. Just visit oldpodcast.com/career, and you can register for the free webinar there. In the meantime, if you have any comments about today's post, share them with us also at oldpodcast.com. And that's it for episode 21. Tomorrow, you'll be hearing from a brand new author to the podcast. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from amazing bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.